In our previous video, we discussed about the kind of havoc that consumer debt can play on our finances and our life, and how we should work on getting rid of that debt as soon as possible. Stupid debt. In today's video, I want to go a little bit beyond paying off debt and talk about why not being in the shadow of debt constantly, minute after minute, hour after hour, is important, and why setting up financial goals and working towards achieving them is as important from a very early point in your life as is setting up life goals and achieving them. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You are watching Modest Millennial, where we talk about all things money that they don't teach you in school. Seriously, do you ever remember being taught to set up financial goals in school? Planning is an essential part of life to achieve success in everything you do. And what's better than to be financially successful, where at some point in life you can decide for yourself to not keep working your 9 to 5 jobs. At some point where you can decide to just buy a fancy car for yourself or spend those extra bucks on getting a fancier watch than what you usually were. But this freedom does not come easy in life. Most often, people that you see enjoying this kind of freedom have worked really hard in their early years and have hustled to plan their lives in a way that their older selves could look back on these younglings one day and salute the effort they put in to make life easier and easier as time goes on. But worry not, should you. I just tried speaking Yiddish there. But don't worry if you haven't yet figured out what financial goals are and what goals you need to set in life, cause I'm here, your friend, your mentor, who will teach you everything you need to know about personal finance so you don't have to go a day with $0 in savings in your bank account. Alright, before we begin, let's go over the mandatory must-dos if you are a new visitor to this channel. The first must-do if you want to better your personal finance situation is to go ahead and smash that like button. The second must-do is to subscribe to my channel. I'm just kidding, guys. I wouldn't force you to do these things. Or would I? Alright, jokes aside, guys. Let's get down to business here. Here are a few reasons why I believe setting financial goals in life is important. Number one reason is that goals create flexibility. From a personal standpoint, this reason is very important for me, and I'm sure that as we talk about this a little bit more, you guys will realize the value this goal creates in your life, and hopefully will start embracing it too. Imagine this scenario. You are a 20-some-year-old fresh out of college and have recently started working at your job. First few months are exciting as it's a whole new world for you. People love your enthusiasm and you are slowly getting good at your work. Then in a few months' time, that excitement starts to fade away because the job has become more monotonous, or there is more pressure to work harder even though you are already working 14 to 15 hours a day. Or the economy starts crashing down. But can you go back to living like a college student again? Can you live 2 weeks without a paycheck? Probably not. That is because ever since you started your job, your lifestyle has changed. Your apartment is more expensive, clothes are more fancier, the car you drive has more rings on its logo, and you like hanging out playing golf on weekends. Imagine just having a few important goals set beforehand and working towards them to save money instead. Imagine that something like the pandemic happens, people are getting furloughed left and right, but you, my friend, now have $100,000 saved up because you were smart to set goals for yourself. This gives you the flexibility to explore beyond your job. You can look into starting a business of your own. You can even look into creating YouTube videos just as a side hobby. Just because, heck, why not? If the world were to crumble around you and you were to lose your job, knowing that you would be okay is a great feeling to have, and that is why having flexibility is very important and an underrated goal. Number 2 on our list is that goals create accountability. You know, at work or in college, you are always accountable to other people's success. At work, if you don't achieve your targets, then the company will lose money. But you really work hard to achieve your work goals for the company's profit. In terms of financial goals, you are creating accountability for yourself. The biggest reason that most people don't have financial goals is because they are not aware of where they need to be financially in 20 to 30 years. But once you find out where you need to be at each age and you're not there yet, boy, that gets scary quick. That is why having tangible goals set up is essential for your financial success. Moreover, having accountability towards those goals is extremely essential because now if you are not responsible and stuff gets out of the way, you are losing control of your own life and your own finances. And there will be nobody out there to help you. I'm not trying to scare anybody there, but do understand that time really is money. The more time you lose now with not having financial goals set up, the more money you will end up losing in your later years. So definitely pay attention to setting up goals for yourself and being accountable towards them. Number three reason to have goals is that they give you a reason to celebrate. I mean, who doesn't like to eat cake every once in a while? But when that cake means something and when you are eating it because you achieved one of your financial goals, trust me, you won't put on weight from it. I'm just joking here. But seriously, having short term financial goals that you then achieve in a few months' worth time is a great feeling to have and does give you a reason to celebrate where you can either eat cake like we just discussed or go out to eat or even start working towards larger goals right away because now you're hooked on the high of achieving your goals and can't stop. Number four reason to have financial goals is that they give you direction in life. Yep, go straight, make a left by the Chipotle over there, and the money tree is right next to that dumpster in that parking lot over there. I'm just kidding, guys. But guys, think about this. When you have goals, you have priorities. When you have priorities, you evaluate what things you should do and shouldn't do in life because you have priorities to attend. When you evaluate what things you should do, you don't just sit around and watch YouTube videos for hours without even getting up from your couch. This video is different. You can keep watching this video and don't forget to smash the like button. But when you evaluate what things you should do, what you are actually doing is you are progressing in life slowly and steadily and are heading towards something big. That something big can be very subjective. For some people, it can be attaining a certain net worth. For some others, it might be buying a larger house, for example. We have our own versions of something big in our lives, but having goals and having direction means that you have that something big defined and you will find the path to achieve it through small progresses in life. Whew. Sorry for going off on tangents there, but it was important. Alright, now you know why having financial goals is important in life, and you're probably just fuming in your head right now that I haven't told you yet what financial goals to have. Hold on, guys. I'm getting there. It's a process. I have to build the video. Cannot just give you what you came here looking for. So I promise the financial goals are coming up right after you hit the subscribe button for my channel. Finally, getting to the good part. Here are the financial goals that you should worry about. And I'm not going to sell you on having a good credit score and starting a high-yield savings account here. No, we are talking about goals that are going to better your life in the longer term. The first and the most important goal to build a basic foundation for your finances so you can better direct your money that's coming into your bank account each month is to have no consumer debt. Mortgage is fine as you need a roof above your head and paying a mortgage also equals building an equity. But other debts such as credit card debt, student loans, personal loans all need to go. I did a video on strategically getting rid of debt earlier this week and you should definitely check it out after you finish watching this video. The second goal, and kind of an important one because this will determine what your living expenses in retirement are going to look like, is to start planning to buy a house. All of us need a roof above our heads to live. Whether it is an apartment or a home depends on what area you live in and the affordability of homes in that area. Buying a home as soon as you can in your career is very important as most mortgages run 30 years long and by the time they're paid off, people would have already reached almost retirement age. So if you still have a mortgage payment on your shoulders when you retire, that could really eat into your retirement savings. Plus, at the same time, it is a place that you can call your own and can help you build memories in over time. You know, painting walls a certain way, having the interior decorated in farmhouse style or bohemian style, or whatever style suits your liking. And then setting up landscaping in your backyard. All these things can bring joy in your life and also keep you motivated towards achieving your larger financial goals so that you can stressfully live a fulfilling life in your abode. Also, the home can form a means of creating generational wealth in your family where you can pass it down to your future generations so they can live a stress-free and mortgage-free life. The third and a major milestone of a financial goal is to become financially independent. Now, each of us has our own definition of being financially independent. Some of us believe that as long as we have enough money coming in through our job each month to cover our living expenses, we are financially free. Some of us believe that once we start making money on our own and don't have to rely on handouts from our parents or friends, we are financially free. These might be good financial independence goals to have for the short term, but they are not sustainable in the long term. All of us are going to grow old at some point. At some point, our knees will start getting weaker and our vision will start getting blurrier. And we may not even be in a position to bring in the same amount of money we do each month right now. Even if we did manage to bring in the same amount of money as now, inflation would eat away the buying power of the few $1,000s you're bringing in today. And the few $1,000s may not be enough to pay for your living expenses. The kind of financial independence we need to strive for then is the one that keeps us afloat through the rest of our lives and pays for our living expenses month after month after month. So how do you achieve this kind of independence? Well, investing your money is the only way one can do this strategically. And wisely investing your money throughout your career will guarantee that by the time you retire, you will have enough money invested in the market that is then earning you enough money each month to pay for your living expenses. As a general advice, then, it may be beneficial to figure out now what kind of money you would need to have invested to call yourself financially free. And this is why in our second financial goal, we discussed about paying off your mortgage before you retire. Because that would mean that your living expenses after retirement would be that much more cheaper each month. Start by calculating your monthly expenses without your mortgage for right now. Let's say, for example, that gas, groceries, utilities, any other miscellaneous expenses end up costing you $2,000 per month. But all these things will get expensive over time as inflation keeps going up and will need to be accounted for. In that case, open a generic inflation calculator website and figure out how much money in future dollars you would need to pay for $2,000 worth of living expenses today, accounting for inflation. At a 2% average inflation growth, that number comes out to be roughly $3,600 by the end of 30 years from now. This means that to maintain the same lifestyle as you have today, you would need $3,600 in future in the form of earnings from your investments per month to be called financially free. So then, how much do you need invested to make $3,600 per month? To understand this, you first need to understand the 4% rule for retirement. The 4% rule states that if you withdraw a maximum of 4% from your retirement savings each year to pay for your living expenses, you will never run out of money in your life. Let me explain this in the form of an example. Let's say that you have $1 million invested in the market. At the beginning of 2021, you decide to withdraw 4% of that, which is $40,000 to pay for your living expenses. Now, after withdrawing the $40,000, you are left with $960,000 invested in the market still, which will then grow at an average return of 7% per year. By the end of the year then, the $960,000 will have grown to roughly $1,027,000. See how even though you took $40,000 out of your investments, your money still grew by another $27,000 for the year. This also means that the amount of money you can withdraw each year goes up as inflation goes up too, and your cost of living rises. But the rest of your money that is still invested in the market grows accordingly as long as you stick to withdrawing only up to 4% of your total invested money per year. So guys, for our third and probably the most important financial goal of anyone's life, make sure to first figure out what your living expenses will look like after retirement. In our case, considering that living expenses will be $3,600 per month, you would need to be able to withdraw roughly $43,000 per year from your investments. A quick calculation will show that if you decide to stick to withdrawing only 4% of your total savings, you would need to have roughly $1,080,000 invested by the time you retire from work. Of course, this is assuming that your mortgage is already paid for. Finally, guys, there might also be tax consequences, meaning that you might be liable to pay taxes on the money you are withdrawing from your investments each year. And it's always a good idea to talk to your financial advisor or your tax consultant about these details, as I'm not a financial advisor and this video was made as a pure source of entertainment. Once again guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it as always, and don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel if you believe that my personal finance videos are helping you take control of your personal finance situation. Also, make sure to comment down below regarding financial goals that you may have already set up or achieved in life, and what specific actions you took to become financially independent. Thanks so much for watching guys. I will see you again soon. See ya.